picture-perfect night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's the USL Championship on CBS Sports Golazo Network as the Pittsburgh Riverhounds play host to the Tampa Bay Rowdies here at Highmark Stadium. It's presented by Allegheny Health Network, the official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. Sean St. Jacques, Sebastian Elney here with you. We look back at how these two teams did a season ago. Two of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. However, both of them had early playoff exits.
Two powerhouse clubs with a lot to play for. I expect tonight to feel like a playoff game.
It's going to have that kind of feel and that kind of atmosphere every time these two teams come together. There's a lot on the line. Tonight is no different, and the reason for that comes in our Eastern Conference standings coming into tonight. Pittsburgh looking for their first points of the season. That's a shocker in itself. The Rowdies trying to keep pace at the top.
Definitely not an ideal start for Pittsburgh. They have a lot to play for tonight, especially at home. Tampa on the road with a lot to play for as well, so we'll see how it all turns out.
Yeah, Pittsburgh were the Players' Shield winners a year ago. 3 defeats to begin the 2024 campaign. Players to watch tonight are presented by Modella. We begin with the Hounds, and Edward Kizza will be a key cog in the Bob Lilly attack.
Coming off a goal in the last game, he'll definitely be excited and motivated to get another one tonight.
And with the departure of Albert Dequa to Rhode Island, multiple players will need to step up. Kizza's the only man to score for the Hounds this season. On the other side of the coin for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, they're bona fide goal scorers in red-hot form in the form of Cal Jennings.
A true goal scorer. Look for him to be in and around the box, trying to get on the end of chances. 2023 Golden Boot runner-up a season ago. He has 2 goals already this season for the Rowdies, and he looks to continue his red-hot start in Pittsburgh tonight. When these two get together, it's always dramatic. There's always a ton on the line, and we expect another great Highmark atmosphere in the Steel City tonight as two beasts of the East meet here in Pittsburgh. The Hounds and the Rowdies will kick things off next.
Looking amazing.
At AHN, we see you trying to be your absolute best. And when it feels like you lost your best along the way.
Okay.
We see you taking control.
Looks good. Prescription. It says here.
And needing the quickest care possible.
Let's go.
At AHN, we see you.
Ain't no better feeling than a cold one in my hand. Well, that's why I'll be keeping Iron City in my plans. Oh, everywhere I roam, I'll be thinking about my home. Sitting pouring on the iron right before I go to rest. And when I'm laying in my bed, there's only one thing in my head. Just an ice cold can of Pittsburgh, PA's best.
Supporting Pennsylvania farmers and shopping local has never been easier than PAPreferred.com. At PAPreferred.com, you can find local farmers, artisans, entrepreneurs, and masters of their craft. PAPreferred.com, local at your fingertips.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Sean St. Jacques, Sebastian Elney, our entire crew back here with you, moments away from kickoff between the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and the Tampa Bay Rowdies here at Highmark Stadium on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and, of course, on KDKA Plus in Pittsburgh. Let's jump into the starting lineup, shall we? Bob Lilly's 11 looks like this. And of course, it's going to be more of a back five with Etu and Blackstock as the outside back, Sebastian.
Solid formation here. Definitely excited to watch Kizza and Sterling up top make magic happen.
It's Sterling's first start for Pittsburgh. Bob Lilly has very high hopes for him. Kizza has scored the only goal for Pittsburgh so far this season. The Hounds lost their home opener against Orange County a couple of games ago. They'll hope to make amends here tonight. Robbie Nielsen, who was coaching in Scotland last season, is with the Rowdies this season and has a very strong 11 with him tonight in the Steel City.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of big names in this 11. It's a big test for them tonight.
One of the big new additions for the Rowdies, Manuel Arteaga, a champion with Phoenix last season, along with Eddie Munjoma. Both of them are in this lineup for the Rowdies tonight. Jordan Doherty is a Team of the Week member in the USL Championship this week. As the team huddles up here for Pittsburgh, it's a historic night for Kenardo Forbes, who becomes the all-time appearances leader in Pittsburgh Riverhounds lore. 196th time he will suit up for Pittsburgh this evening. David Flavius, who is now the former record holder, brought the pregame match ball to the center and was in attendance for a pregame ceremony honoring the great King Kenny, as he is known. He's also, of course, the all-time USL Championship and Pittsburgh assist leader as well. So another milestone checked off the list in the illustrious career of Kenardo Forbes, and the Steel Army is just about ready to go. Here on CBS Sports Golazo Network and on KDKA Plus in Pittsburgh. Again, Sean St. Jacques, Sebastian Elney, our entire crew, we're thrilled to bring this one to you, the first of two on the Golazo Network tonight. Adam Kilpatrick is our head official, and the Hounds in their black and yellows get us started here at Highmark, going from right to left in the Steel City. The Rowdies are in their greens with the yellow trim. Anytime these two teams meet, it could be early in the season like tonight. It could be the penultimate game of a season like they did a year ago with the Players' Shield on the line. It just has that little bit extra, and we're expecting another thriller between two of the best in the East in these recent seasons tonight. Tonight's match is presented by Allegheny Health Network, the official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. We talked to Bob Lilly earlier this week. He did not mince any words with us. He said this was a game that had a lot riding on it. He said we haven't entered the party yet in this USL Championship campaign. They are hoping to get their dancing shoes on tonight and get right back into the fray of this Eastern Conference chase. There's Bob looking on. He's had a legendary career, not just with Pittsburgh, but in the past with Rochester, of course, won a USL title. Kenardo Forbes was on that team, followed Bob Lilly to Pittsburgh, and they say the rest is history.
Expect them to start really fast tonight. They have to file and forget the past 3 games, the past results, and just get after it tonight, especially at home with the backing of the environment and the crowd they have. Expect a big chance in the first 5.
For the Rowdies as well, they've had a few nightmares or two here at Highmark. They don't tend to play well in this venue. Just 1 win in 8 trips to Pittsburgh. And that includes an Open Cup loss back in 2015. They came here last year. Bob Lilly's boys played them off the park, frankly, for 90 minutes. Robbie Nielsen, in his first year in charge of the Rowdies, will be hoping for a different script tonight. An early set-piece opportunity here for Tampa Bay. It'll be Hilton and Blake Bodley, 2 of the regulars in this Tampa Bay lineup. Bodley bends in a dangerous ball. Hounds have it covered initially, but it's going to be volleyed and volleyed out of play in front of the Steel Army for a goal kick. Eric Dick is in goal tonight for Pittsburgh as we look at our IC Light keys to the game. Premium light lager that embodies all things black and gold. IC Light for Pittsburgh, and this is no surprise. They've got a tremendous midfield that's been brought back for this season. They're going to have to control the middle of the park tonight.
Yeah, it'll be important for them tonight just to control it. You got Forbes in there as a veteran. He'll be running around creating chances on the defensive side and offensive side.
And for the Rowdies, you mentioned the similar thing with Pittsburgh earlier. a fast start in a place they have not played well could be really important for Robbie Nielsen's guys.
Yeah, it'll provide them a lot of confidence if they start fast, do well in the first 10 minutes. Especially on the road, it's easy to be sluggish coming off the travel, but the game's here and they got to be ready to play.
Hilton sends it ahead. There's a Rowdy down behind the play. Eric Dick restarts the play for Pittsburgh here. It's out for a Riverhounds throw. On the near side as Biasi was looking upfield. These two met twice in the regular season. Last year, we talked to you about the one here at Highmark. Pittsburgh won it by 1-0, but it could have been maybe 4 or 5, maybe even 6. That's how many chances the Hounds had. Riverhounds lost, but it was one of those where they were almost let off the hook in a lot of ways in that game. And then, of course, the penultimate game of the regular season last year, Pittsburgh went to Tampa Bay and won for just the second time in the club's history. They won 2-0. Albert Dequa had his fingerprints all over it. Pittsburgh won the Players' Shield in Florida last season. And here's Blackstock playing a ball across. Aaron Guillen is there for Tampa Bay. And the Rowdies get it out of play at the expense of a throw. Those home and road numbers just tend to favor the home side when these two teams meet. Again, just one win ever for Tampa Bay here at Highmark. Pittsburgh, not much better. Just 2 wins ever at Al Lang down in Tampa Bay, Florida. St. Petersburg, to be exact. This play essentially had to be a quick clearance from Jordan Doherty, who's in the USL Team of the Week this week in the championship. And Danny Griffin, the captain for the Hounds, all over it to win it back for Pittsburgh. He continues to be an Iron Man. Has never missed a game in his 5-year pro career with the Hounds in the championship or with Huntsville briefly in MLS Next Pro. Blackstock trying to clip one into the penalty area. He wins Pittsburgh a corner.
Hey, Riverhounds fans, it's time for our first.
Could be a first big chance of the night.
Kick.
It's Robbie Mertz, who lives and breathes Pittsburgh, from this area. Briefly left to go play for the Atlanta United organization. Played for their reserve team, came back to Pittsburgh. He's continued to be an impact player. As Jordan Farr tries to organize things for Tampa Bay, it's a bit of a scramble inside the penalty area. A couple players go down. Pittsburgh settles for a throw on the far side. Mertz into the middle, tried to find Keziah Sterling. Griffin's header is caught by the former San Antonio goalkeeper, Jordan Farr. What a career Jordan Farr has had. Was the 2022 USL Championship Goalkeeper of the Year, won the title with San Antonio a couple of seasons ago, and the Players' Shield in the same campaign. He's hoping to bring some of that same success with him in his first season with the Rowdies. Robbie Nielsen's first year in charge, was the head coach in the Scottish Premiership with Heart of Midlothian, Hearts, as some may know them. He's going up against the likes of Celtic and Rangers, the two Glasgow boys. Two of the best teams in Europe, constantly fighting in the Champions League or in the Premiership. He's now taken his talents to, well, let's not say South Beach, but the northern part of Florida in St. Petersburg. Here's Hilton. Off to get over to the near side. It was a good touch by the former Phoenix man, Eddie Munjoma. Played ahead looking for Cal Jennings. Pittsburgh let that bounce once or twice on the edge of the penalty area, but they lived to tell about it with Arteaga also lurking. Kizza stays with Griffin. Griffin's ball is a lovely ball into the path of Sterling. Sterling from Mertz. Still Mertz! And he tries to volley it on the edge of the penalty area with his off boot and sends it out for a goal kick.
That's great from Pittsburgh here. It's a good run in behind and a good ball. It's unlucky here, but Mertz does well to counter press. Just want to keep the shot on target. It's a good first chance for Pitt.
Wasn't far away on the RCC Winery replay. Isaiah Sterling is a player that Bob Lilly's excited to really get into the fold. Made his Pittsburgh debut at Louisville last time out. To get some paperwork done for him overseas to get him back into the fold with the team, and scored a boatload of goals for South Georgia Tormenta in USL League One in years past. Former Tottenham Hotspur Academy product as well in North London. Here's Etu from Griffin. Etu cuts it back, and it nearly falls for a chance. It's going to be Griffin who lets one fly, and it's blocked inside the penalty area by Joey Desart.
Pittsburgh's doing a great job of being aggressive with the ball, going right to goal, going forward, not playing around with it in the back.
Pittsburgh's only other home game so far this season. They gave up an early goal to Orange County. That came back to bite them. They were chasing the game the rest of the way. They never quite recovered, despite being in the ascendancy at times, but it was all bark and no bite. Morton Carlson's boys won 2-0. Here's a look at the Etu opportunity.
Did really well to cut in there. It gets broken up, but as you see, there's just chaos in the box, and anytime that happens, it's always good news.
Hogan resets to Biasi. First time ball by Etu. It was looking for Kizza. It gets to Kizza after Hilton's loose touch. Here's Mertz. Griffin. Etu. Griffin looking for a teammate. Blackstock was making a great run. It was just half a step in front of him.
It's a good play here by Pittsburgh. He picks his head up and puts a good ball in towards the back post. Just unlucky not to connect.
It's just the way Bob Lilly likes it too. Almost, well, not quite fullback to fullback, but Griffin playing that role nearly gets Blackstock in behind. Could have maybe touched it centrally to one of Kizza or Sterling. Out of play for a Rowdies throw. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select is the player's choice. The Rowdies like to play in space. This is one of those grounds, especially the way Bob Lilly likes to play, where they don't always have a ton to work with. They've been a bit suffocating so far, the Hounds. Chances for Mertz and Griffin, the most notable to this point. Osumanu. Three center back lineup for the Hounds. Biasi and Hogan. Part of that as well. Biasi, a hopeful ball ahead. Lasso gets his head onto it, and the offside flag is up. Bob Lilly was telling us earlier in the week, pretty clean bill of health for his group. Tampa Bay still waiting for some players to come back into the fold. Zane Bubb, Charlie Dennis, Zach Harivo, Nick Moon, all out tonight. Some of those are big names. Nick Moon's been a very strong player in this league for multiple seasons. Charlie Dennis, not just in League One, but now here in the championship, is making his mark as well. So the Rowdies could continue to get pretty deep as there's a coming together and a bit of words exchanged between Guillen and Mertz. And then even Guillen said, no, don't worry, ref, nothing doing here, a smile. And they leave each other alone after that.
You like to see that. It's intense out there. Just two players, two great players giving a little heads up to each other, but you'd love to see it.
Almost like two kiddos in the sandbox. Just a bit of a mistake there. We walk away with smiles all around. Good battle for it in the midfield. Forbes just about won the header over Desart, but Desart has it now for Tampa Bay. Guillen plays it out wide. Bodily up ahead. And Arteaga was connecting with Crisostomo. It's out of play for a Riverhounds throw. We talked about it at the top, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, who had now 2 coaching changes in the last season, plus Neil Collins, who had just such an impact on this team and on the city as well, leaves to go over to the English footballing pyramid. Nicky Law took over for quite a few games last season, got Tampa Bay to the 2 seed in the East. They got knocked out by Birmingham in the first round, and now Robbie Nielsen things in 2024. Of course, Pittsburgh suffered heartbreak here in the first round of the playoffs a season ago. Players' Shield winners. They look poised for a deep, deep run. They made a deep run in the Open Cup as well, dispatching Columbus Crew and New England Revolution along the way. But Detroit City came here and beat them. They did the unthinkable and knocked the Hounds out in the conference quarterfinals. Certainly the returning players, Bob Lilly told us, will be hoping to put that right if they get the chance this time around.
"15 minutes in, it seems that Pittsburgh has the upper hand a little bit. A few more dangerous chances. They seem a bit more aggressive, but it's 2 heavyweights kind of feeling each other out. The first goal in this match will be essential for both sides. Whoever can get it first will definitely dictate the rest of the game."
Forms with an intervention. That's a very, very rash challenge from Guillen. Going through Edward Kizza. Referee has his yellow card out as we take a second look at the last sequence of play. And Kilpatrick looks on as we look again.
Just a little overzealous there, a little too aggressive. Kind of jumps right over the top of him.
One of those where Guillen was always second best. And he sees yellow, the Tampa Bay captain. First time our referee has gone to the pocket tonight. Frankly, I'm not sure if Aaron Guillen had much of a case there.
Yellow card against Tampa Bay. Number 33, Aaron Guillen.
He heads back into a defensive position as the Hounds try to rev up for another attack. Guillen from Chihuahua, Mexico, his 5th season with the Rowdies. Of course, has the captain armband as well. He's one of their leaders in this tremendous group. We're briefly talking with Ryan Davis, the main analyst for Tampa Bay Rowdies home games earlier tonight. He talked about how important Guillen and Jordan Doherty have been to this group. Jordan Doherty, beg your pardon, he called their silent leader, the leader by example on this team. And of course, he's in the USL Championship Team of the Week, along with Guillen, who got a spot on the bench. Here's Forbes, always pulling the strings. Blackstock looking for Kizza. And maybe just too many green shirts in the way as Kizza tried to aim for goal.
The Riverhounds would like to wish a happy birthday to Reed, Marlo, Savea,
This is such a good one-time ball into a dangerous space. You don't exactly need to pick someone out, put it right on their foot. Just put it in a tricky spot where the keeper can't get to it. Defenders are turned around. It's a good chance there.
And Kizza just put off balance at the end there. Couldn't quite put it on target after some wonderful Pittsburgh build-up play. Some good early moments as well for Langston Blackstock. He hasn't always been a starter under Bob Lilly, but when he gets time, tends to make an impact. He has done so to this point. Here's Etu with time and space. Feathers a ball in for Mertz. Lovely little 1-2 between Mertz and Sterling, but Sterling's touch just about gets away from him. Griffin. Sterling. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. Brilliantly done. Looks for help. Couldn't find Etu. It's well defended by Lewis Hilton and sent upfield. Mertz brought down, free kick. Referee says Desart went over the top, and the Hounds have a set piece.
Yeah, just a little too aggressive over the top. Now you get a set piece in a dangerous position.
It's taken quickly, Biasi. Etu across! Oh, it's cleared off the line by Guillen. Farr tries to get onto it, he's fouled. Free kick, Tampa Bay. Gigantic defensive stand from the Rowdies, and now there's an inquest going on both sides here with the referee. More chaos inside the penalty area, and Adam Kilpatrick will have to try and settle everything down.
It was a good quick start off the set piece and a great ball in. A lot of trouble happening, and what a goal line clearance that is. It's a little overzealous by both sides. Both guys going up for it. And of course, the keeper's always protected in those situations, though.
Hogan thwarted by Guillen. And then chaos ensued after that. Hogan getting involved with Lasso and possibly another player after Farr tried to lunge ahead. Could only tap it out, but because of the congestion, the Rowdies get the free kick. That is the best chance we've had so far. Overall, a promising start for the Riverhounds. Bob Lilly called this a character game. Guys have to step up. He said at times we were naive in the 3-1 loss against Louisville last time out. So they have to be better tonight.
They've looked really good in the first 20, always on the front foot, looking to attack. Mainly the ball's been in their attacking half. Let's see if they can continue.
Hogan would have cleared it upfield. He's sent back to the edge. Jennings loses out, and also Jennings was offside. And Pittsburgh is pointless at the start of the season. Nothing on the board as Robbie Nielsen looks on. We had a great conversation with both coaches. Both gave each other a ton of kind words and credit and things of that nature. Must be said, though, the Hounds' schedule at the start, about as brutal as you're going to get. At New Mexico, who've looked tremendous so far. Pittsburgh hung in, but they lost by 1-0. Here against Orange County a week later, that was the one that got away from it. Felt like they were on top for a big chunk of the game, but Orange County scored goals at vital moments early and then late to win by 2-0. And then Louisville, as we saw earlier today, that historic moment playing Indy 11 on CBS. They've been going through and destroying everybody so far.
Super tough schedule. Obviously, they don't have as many points as they would like, but no one ever won a championship or qualified for the playoffs in the first 3 games. So this one that we have ahead of us tonight is a big one for them. 0-4 is a little different than 0-3, so they'll definitely look for 3 big points here.
For the Rowdies, they're going to try to exorcise some demons here tonight. Don't tend to leave here with much, if anything, when they come to Pittsburgh. One of the other things that Bob Lilly mentioned to us as well, and this is something that you don't rarely hear him talk about with his team, is they need to be better with game management. So they weren't consistent enough in that side of the game. He said, we've underperformed. He said, it's that simple. We have to be better. We should be better. He's hoping that tonight, with a big crowd and a big opposition here in the Rowdies, can get that performance out of his group, and of course adding Kazea Sterling up front certainly helps, and we've already seen good impacts from the likes of Etu and Blackstock on the edges. That midfield core, they lost Dequa up front, they lost Ordonez at the back, but keeping a big chunk of that midfield core keeps Pittsburgh right in that playoff conversation if they can start getting some results, and as Bob Lilly put it, join the party in the Eastern Conference.
Exactly. And in the past few games, there's the mental moments. They've conceded a lot of goals in the last 5 minutes of the match, and those are those important. We know that a lot of goals are scored in the first 5 minutes of every half and in the last 5 minutes of every half. So we'll see how they do tonight.
Gorgeous first touch by Forbes, right into the path of Mertz. Blackstock helping out. Still Blackstock. Plays it across, dealt with by Guillen. Lovely skill from Blackstock. Forbes gets it back to him. It's going to be a Rowdies throw. Well defended in the end by Blake Bodley after some trickery from Blackstock. For the Rowdies, their opening schedule wasn't exactly smooth sailing either. Had that tough draw against San Antonio when it looked like they were going to cruise to 3 points. A draw against North Carolina, who've certainly had a nice return so far to the USL Championship after they won League One last season. But then they came alive against Rhode Island with a 4-1 win. And that, for a lot of people around the league, was the Rowdies they recognized from years past.
Exactly. They looked really good in that last match. A lot of goals, and they were so aggressive. They had a few hit off the post as well. Could have been 5 or 6.
Fans, please remember that Highmark Stadium is
Robbie Nielsen was telling us that he hopes that it's a similar type performance tonight, but recognizes how difficult a task it is to come to Highmark and leave with a result. Of course, last time out against Louisville, Eric Dick had 5 saves for Pittsburgh. That's actually the most a Pittsburgh Riverhound goalkeepers had to make since Danny Vitiello made as many back in 2021. Which also is just a credit to the way that Bob Lilly's teams have defended these last few seasons. And also a credit to how good Louisville have been at the start of this season. They beat Indy 11-5-3 on CBS earlier this afternoon in Kentucky. What a tremendous event that has turned out to be, and there'll be many more of those, whether it's CBS or CBS Sports Network or right here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network throughout the season. It's the first of 2 on Golazo today. We'll have Oakland taking on Monterey Bay in a Cali clash in the nightcap. Not the best clearance initially. Arteaga trying to shield it out. It's up for grabs here, and then Arteaga maybe dragged down a bit by Etu. Things simmer down for the moment. It's a Rowdies throw. And Forbes clears it away as Monjoma tried to find a teammate. Well, the new era of the USL continues on the CBS networks, as we just mentioned, in April. Join us Tuesday, April 9th, CBS Sports Network, Charleston Battery take on Louisville City at 7 p.m. Eastern in a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Final, which saw the Charleston Battery win and nearly win the whole thing. Ended up losing at home on penalties to eventual winners, Phoenix Rising. Sent ahead by far, he's also won a USL Championship title. Arteaga, lovely hold-up play. Here's Monjoma, his former Phoenix teammate. That title-winning team from a season ago. Mertz playing it back. It's cleared only as far as Guillen. Desart. Arteaga. And Arteaga will win a throw-in for the Rowdies. From the throw, Tampa Bay will look to build another attack. Doherty. Covered by Biasi. And Biasi's running out of real estate. He just about gets it through, but Hilton takes it away. And the Rowdies will settle for a throw. Jordan Doherty scored his 4th ever Rowdies goal last time out. And that win over Rhode Island, which is now, of course, the home of Albert Dequa. Left Pittsburgh during the offseason. MVP and Golden Boot winner for the Players' Shield holders in 2023. Hilton with a volley on the edge of the penalty area. In the end, not on target.
You see the long throw here. It's not cleared out properly, but it's a decent attempt from outside. Just waiting for the outside, just waiting for the second shot.
Replay Snyder brought to you by Narcisi Winery. It's maybe the only even half chance that the Rowdies have come up with in the nearly half an hour that's gone by.
Yeah, they'll take it though. Just build a little bit more confidence, but so far, Pittsburgh's been so dominant in the midfield and in the attacking half.
Can Pittsburgh pay that off with an opening goal? They've yet to score at Highmark this season, just 1 goal in the first 3. Griffin. Oh, it's a wonderful ball. Blackstock! Lasso defends. Mertz on the follow-up, saved by Farr. Cleared by Hilton. More Pittsburgh pressure. After the Rowdies had a goal line clearance by Guillen earlier, they're nearly breached again. And that too clears for a Rowdies throw. Another close call for Tampa Bay.
It's such a good ball there. It's unlucky, but it's a crucial deflection by Guillen. Without that, it's easy tapping at the back post.
And then Mertz thwarted by Farr after the great defensive work by Lasso. Keep Pittsburgh out for now. Guillen up ahead. Rowdies will settle for another throw. Again, it's a historic night already for Pittsburgh, with Gerardo Forbes becoming the Riverhounds' all-time appearances leader. David Flavius, the former record holder, is on hand tonight. He presented the match ball, took part in pregame festivities. Flavius is also the all-time leading Pittsburgh goal scorer in club history. It's a rare moment when Pittsburgh has their all-time leading goal scorer on the same patch with their all-time leading assist leader and the league's all-time leader in assists as well. It's that kind of a night. It could be even more special if Pittsburgh can get the 3 points. Here's Mertz for the Hounds. Mertz again wins a throw-in for Pittsburgh. Rowdies thought it was going to go their way. Hilton does really well for Tampa Bay. Arteaga. Monjoma. A reset for Doherty. When Orange County won here back in March, middle of March, played out in a similar way. Pittsburgh didn't take their chances. Orange County scored at the vital moments, so that's some hope for Tampa Bay to hold on to here. If Pittsburgh can't be clinical enough, it'll leave the door open for a side that's been very good in front of goal at the start of this season. Mertz. Headed along by Forbes, Sterling. One back by the Rowdies, controlled by Forrest Lasso. Doherty. Just feathering one down the line, looking for Monjoma. And it's out for a throw. Riverhounds fans, please join us Saturday, April 27th for Throwback Night and Dollar Beer Night as the Riverhounds welcome Detroit City FC to town. Get your tickets today. Another great crowd here at Highmark. Steel Army always in proper voice for these big nights. That ball ricochets back to the Pittsburgh back line. Up ahead, looking for Sterling again. Lasso up ahead. Easy enough for Eric Dick. There they are. Always loud and proud. They've got their King Kenny crowns on as well for Canardo Forbes. His 196th appearance tonight. Now then, the Rowdies looking to build here. First time ball into the penalty area at 2 with a diving clearance. Served back in looking for Artiaga, maybe Munjoma. It finds neither. The referees had a couple of coming togethers with a few players in the last few sequences. But Adam Kilpatrick looks to be okay.
Ideally for Pittsburgh, they're going to want to capitalize on all the pressure they've applied so far. There'd be a lack of motivation if they go into halftime 0-0. Ideally, they want one before they go in there. And for Tampa, if they can get one before, or they can stay in the game 0-0, their confidence will grow as well. So we'll see it in the next 10 minutes what happens.
You said it earlier, the first goal in a game like this where it could be few and far between could really dictate how the rest of this one plays out. Said last year that two goal lines, I should say, between the two were 1-0 and 2-0 to Pittsburgh. Griffin just trying to slide it through for Kizza. Well defended by Crisostomo. Besides the dominance in the midfield, the other big feather in Pittsburgh's cap so far is we haven't really called out Cal Jennings' name in this first half. He has not had any opportunities for the Rowdies. And Bob Lilly and his staff will be hoping that that continues. Sterling tries to get past Guillen. Keziah Sterling using his strength, his pace. Guillen just about getting back onto it and finding Jordan Farr. Good pressure, but Guillen just about handles himself with good composure. Jennings for Artiaga. Those two could be really dangerous together throughout the season. Pittsburgh deal with them that time. And Lasso retrieves. Artiaga, along with Danny Trejo last season for Phoenix, were right up there in the Golden Boot conversation. And with Cal Jennings for Tampa Bay, and of course Dequa last year for Pittsburgh, who ended up winning the Golden Boot. That's a giveaway. Mertz gets it back for the Hounds. Blackstock, who's been vibrant in this first half. Reset for Osumanu, and Hogan, who had that goal line clearance deny him earlier in the half by Guillen. Forbes. Mertz on the turn. Blackstock in space. Three waiting for it in the middle, and Farr just gets there ahead of Danny Griffin. Rowdy's not going to waste any time going the other way. Crisostomo. Hilton. Some of the defenders come back for Pittsburgh. Jennings back to Desart. And the Rowdies have to reset.
Starting to see the game open up a bit more as we go into the last 10 minutes of the half.
Doherty, rare miscued touch from him. Goes back to Pittsburgh. Luke Biasi's been one of those versatile players for Bob Lilly over the years. Could be a guy you can see playing in one of these center back positions like we see tonight. He's been one of the wing backs Bob Lilly's used from time to time. As Artiaga is able to get that away from Hogan. Back from Crisostomo, Arteaga loses his footing on the edge of the penalty area. Even when Pittsburgh makes a brief error, they quickly make up for it at the back. We've seen signs of what this Riverhounds team can be capable of. By Bob Lilly, again, despite motivating his team and hoping they can play better and get better as the season moves along, he also talked about how many positives he's seen despite the poor results. He's liked some of what he's seen, and well, I will say, for those already counting the Riverhounds out, good luck to you, because tonight, or even a game or two down the line, expect them to recover if the history with Bob Lilly and this team is any indication. They don't stay down for long.
And as we discussed earlier, just don't count them out. Yeah, they've had 3 losses so far, but those losses should turn into lessons, especially if you know Coach Lilly and what he brings to the program. So with those losses behind them now, they're just looking forward to building on them and becoming better.
Pittsburgh, under Bob Lilly, been to the playoffs 6 years running. They expect to be back there again at the end of this campaign. Not to be outdone, the Rowdies not too bad either. They've been to 5 straight playoffs, including their early exit a season ago at the hands of Birmingham Legion. Headed ahead by Griffin. Griffin gets back onto it, fouled by Arteaga, who's incensed. But it's going to be a Pittsburgh set piece. 5 minutes and stoppage time left in the half.
Griffin just does well to get that first step there. Arteaga throws an arm out. There's just a little bit of frustration, as you can see here from the Tampa Bay attackers.
Biasi spraying it out to the far side. Blackstock. Mertz. Here's Forbes. Sterling, and then Kizza! Right on the doorstep, skies it. And another big Pittsburgh chance goes begging.
Again, there's more pressure from Pittsburgh. They love getting the ball out wide and putting it in dangerous spots. That sweet spot in between the 6 and the penalty spot is a danger zone. Just unlucky not to get over and put it on frame.
Kiz is the only Pittsburgh goal scorer so far this season. The loss to Louisville last time out. Point in the game where Pittsburgh felt they could get back into it. And Louisville did the rest. That's a giveaway. Eddie Munjoma for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Not a bad effort. I think in the end, Eric Dick knew exactly where it was going to end up.
Sloppy loss there. For Pittsburgh, you hope that's the last one, because just like that, the game can turn in a matter of moments.
Not a bad effort at all from the former Phoenix man and champion last season with the Rising. Munjoma couldn't hit the target. Crisostomo. There's Munjoma. Munjoma trying to get back onto it after Jennings and Crisostomo continued the build-up play. Throw in for Tampa Bay. And here in the 42nd minute, we will have a stoppage for the players on both teams that observe Ramadan. So they can break their fast. We've seen not just USL Championship, but other leagues in the USL and in America do this. We've now seen leagues in Europe do this. It's just a tremendous gesture, in some ways a bit overdue, I think you could maybe even argue, but now that it's here, it's a credit to all the leagues, and after some of these players have not eaten or drank anything all day, it's a much needed bit of reprieve, and it's great to see.
Definitely an overdue, like you said. It's amazing to see, and it's just the proper thing to happen.
No question about that, especially in a game that's as global as soccer is. It's great to see this finally get added into the fray, into the passages of play. It also gives the teams a chance to adjust something at the end of this first half. Can the Rowdies maybe go against the run of play and nick a goal, or will we see Pittsburgh have their persistence pay off at the end of this first half? Maybe neither. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll see. You can use it as a mini timeout, and for the players, it's always great to get a little swig of water, a swig of Gatorade, and get back out there, replan, refocus.
It leads to a throw in here for the Rowdies. Jordan Doherty, who can certainly pick someone out from this spot. Lofts it into the penalty area. Lasso was closest to it. And the whistle, I believe. Oh, it's actually going to be a throw into Pittsburgh. A foul throw, I believe, has been called here. Well, Pittsburgh thought it was going to be a free kick. Yeah, foul throw. That's exactly what Adam Kilpatrick just said. So Pittsburgh get the ball back. It's rare you see that, especially at this level. Rare miscue from Jordan Doherty. Griffin clears for Pittsburgh only as far as Guillen. Final minute of normal time at the end of the half. And Dick will make the catch there for Pittsburgh. Dick from Roland Park, Kansas, signed as a free agent from Minnesota United MLS during the offseason. It's the 13th overall pick in the 2018 MLS draft by Sporting Kansas City. His opposite number, Farr, has it on the opposite side. He's played in over 30 USL Championship games. Has played, I should say, for Indy, Tulsa, Phoenix, and the artist is formerly known as Swope Park Rangers.
2 minutes.
Now, of course, SKC2. As we're into 2 added minutes at the end of a really intriguing half here in the Steel City. A game that is begging out for an opening goal. Sterling's pressure on Lasso. Forces an errant clearance. Blackstock. Kizza stayed on side, but Lasso's all over it, and he finds Jordan Farr. Here's Cal Jennings, the best touch. Forbes has it for Pittsburgh, tries to pick out Etu. Lovely ball down this near side. Etu. This is cross blocked. It's going to be a late Pittsburgh corner in the final minute of the half. Lily's boys trying to bust down the door here. Take a lead into the halftime break. Jordan Farr hoping his team can come up with 1 or 2 more stops. Not many better to put on a corner than all-time assist leader in USL Championship history in King Kenny. Can Forbes pick somebody out? His ball in is pretty well placed. Lasso and Farr miscommunication. They do just about enough, and Tampa Bay gets it out for a moment. And it's a skewed ball back in. It's going to curl out for a throw-in to Tampa Bay. That might be the last major act of the half. That throw-in is the last act of the first half here at Highmark Stadium. A promising, encouraging first half for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They came the closest on multiple occasions to finding the breakthrough. It has yet to come. The Rowdies up against it, held firm despite the Pittsburgh persistence. And it's honors even with a big 45 minutes still to come, and an intriguing game, Sebastian, to this point.
Definitely both good halves by both teams. Pittsburgh should be a little disappointed not to get one because they've been so great in the first half. Tampa will be happy to go in the locker room tied.
And we're excited to see how the second 45 minutes plays out. It's another USL Championship chess match here in Pittsburgh between 2 of the best the league has to offer. 0-0 at the half in the Steel City. Plenty to come during our halftime break, which is coming up right after this.
Have you seen the new double-sided scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery? It's $1 Million Multiplier Madness. And it comes with a bonus game on the back for even more chances to win. It's like having a piece of cake for dessert, and then having another piece of cake. Because after all, who doesn't like more of a good thing?
Scratch it, flip it, and keep on scratching.
Ireland Contracting is a family-run business. We provide customers with roofing, siding, windows, skylights, anything on the exterior of the house.
Ireland Contracting is a residential roofing company, but now we do offer electrical.
I wanted good quality product, and I wanted customer service. You just have that gut feel that these are the kind of people I wanted to work with.
It's not just our name, it's our reputation.
Halftime is presented by Allegheny Health Network, the official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. No goals yet here in the Steel City, but a big second half still to come here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. Let's take a closer look now at the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Academy. Nate Dragicic was the first Riverhounds Development Academy player to sign a professional USL contract out of Duquesne University and nearby West Allegheny High School. The Hounds previously had players on amateur USL Academy contracts and others who trained with but did not appear for the first team. But Nate is the first to reach the full professional status with the team. He attended Hounds training programs from their beginning in 2008, and he joined right away when the Academy began fielding competitive teams in 2014. Tessa Delarose, also a big Academy member on the women's side. 2 Riverhounds Academy players have featured in the girls' side of the U.S. Youth national team setup. Tessa Delarose, now a sophomore at the University of North Carolina, started for the U.S. in last year's CONCACAF Under-20 Women's Championships, where they reached the final and qualified for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup this September in Colombia. Ready to unlock your potential and pursue your dreams? Join Riverhounds Academy today, where our players achieve D1 scholarships and pro team contracts. Your pathway to greatness starts here. Sign up at riverhounds.com/academy and start your journey today. We'll take a break, and then we'll look around the USL Championship on multiple fronts. Coming up next.
2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why.
Yeah, I said what I said. I don't care, I paint the town red.
If you can survive this, it's going to make the whole story that much better.
The bright horses are broken free from the fields.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes, only want the best. And anybody never night won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Stares down, shakes. Malloy! Oh, what a debut goal! Charleston rolling it home. Serrano! Serrano scores! There's the dagger! Louisville all 3 points!
Sean St. Jacques, Sebastian Elney back here with you at the half. No score between Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay, with still a big 45 minutes still to come. And Highmark Stadium in the Steel City. Let's look around the USL Championship, starting with the news and notes. And one of the biggest pieces of news around the league is that 16 of the USL Championship clubs have entered the third round of the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. They know their matchups as well. Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay, a couple of those teams that will enter in the next round, but of course, that's going to be interesting to see which teams can make a deep run out of the USL Championship. We've seen it happen before, Sebastian.
That'll be fun, and it's such a fun tournament to be a part of. So we'll see how they enter, with some teams already having that momentum going forward.
March Player of the Month nominees vote on USLChampionship.com, and of course, Player of the Week, Maxi Rodriguez with an assist and the game-winning goal for Indy. For Detroit City, here's the full look at the Team of the Week. Danny Cruz is the Coach of the Week. And of course, Jordan Doherty of the Tampa Bay Rowdies in there as well. Guillen making the bench. Any players stand out for you on the Team of the Week this week?
Obviously, Maxi had a good game, but there's a lot of familiar names on this. So we'll see what goes on next week. Hopefully some of these players in tonight's game will be on there.
And of course, Louisville City, 3 players represented, all of them playing earlier today on CBS against Indy 11. Great to see that for the league and for American soccer in general. Some halftime entertainment for the Steel City crowd to enjoy before the big 45 minutes still to come on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. 0-0 between the Hounds and the Rowdies. Back to the Steel City for the second half after this.
At AHN, good heart care starts before you're just not feeling right. Before you say, it'll go away on its own. Before it doesn't. Because before an emergency, there's time to stop heart problems with a simple preventative heart check. At AHN, we see you.
Pittsburgh is our home. Check in with Thermo Twin. We are employee owned. Check in with Thermo Twin. Check in. Check in. Check in. Check in. Check in with Thermo Twin.
Right now, check in with Thermo Twin for 24-month financing.
Check in with Thermo Twin.
Living in your dream home, but your deck has become a nightmare? Quaker State Construction can make your deck look better than new with an extreme deck makeover and save you money. It's not too early to create the deck of your dreams with our design team, materials, and hassle-free installation. Get on our schedule now so you're able to enjoy your deck this season. Call Quaker State Construction at 800-262-DECK or go to QuakerStateConstruction.com.
Sean St. Jacques, Sebastian Elney, our entire crew. Thrilled to have you back here with us. 0-0 between Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay, with a critical second half coming up in just a few moments here at Highmark Stadium. But before we get to that, let's jump in to the first half highlights between these two Eastern Conference foes. They're brought to you by Corona. Sebastian, we start in the 20th minute with one of many Pittsburgh chances.
And off the set piece as well. Such a good ball whipped in here, causes chaos in the box. And such a good goal line clearance there.
Aaron Guillen comes to the aid of the Rowdies with this goal line clearance. Pat Hogan, of all people, nearly getting on the score sheet. That might have been Pittsburgh's best chance of the entire half. It's certainly been testy between these two as well. Here's an opportunity for the Rowdies.
Another one off the set piece. An improper clearance there leads to a shot on the top of the box. Unlucky not to put it on frame.
Not many Rowdies chances, certainly not many clear-cut chances for Tampa Bay, and not long after that, Pittsburgh were back on the front foot.
Such a good ball. And even that puts in a dangerous spot. A lot of chaos again in the box, but nothing results from it.
That was a big chance from Blackstock, and then Mertz on the follow-up, forcing the save from Jordan Farr. Pittsburgh knocking on the door, not quite busting it down. 41st minute here, another rare opportunity for the Rowdies, and then a chance from Njoma. Blasts it wide of the target, and that might have been Tampa Bay's best opportunity off a Pittsburgh mistake, and maybe the biggest stat from our first half stats, 8 shots combined, but 0 on target for either side.
Can't score if you don't hit the target. Going into the second half, I expect both coaches to tell their players, just put it on frame, and you never know what could happen.
Needs some sharpness and a bit of bite in the attack for both teams, but Pittsburgh, I think, should feel encouraged by what they've seen, but again, they need the end product as well.
Can't take their foot off the gas pedal. In the second half, they need to keep on going, keep doing what they're doing in the first half, and it'll be all on Tampa to absorb it and see how they can handle it.
It's probably going to be one of those rare games for the Rowdies where 0-0 at the half. Acceptable maybe for Robbie Nielsen, considering what they had to go through?
Yeah, definitely. They should be motivated and inspired going into the second half. There's a lot that can happen within these next 45.
The other live game going on right now in the USL Championship, New Boys Rhode Island FC taking on the Eastern Conference champions, Charleston Battery. A season ago, 30 minutes gone, no score there. The Rowdies have just one win in their history here at Highmark. They're hoping to change that tonight. They're hanging around. But so far, the black and yellow Pittsburgh Riverhounds kits have been the ones flying around. They've been tremendous so far. It's a bit similar to what we saw between Orange County and Pittsburgh here, but Orange County found moments to get goals at the right times. That led Morton Carlson's boys to picking up 3 very important points. And Pittsburgh, again, this game is crucial for them. 3 losses out of 3 at the start of the season. They want to get points on the board to get back into this race towards not just the postseason, but home playoff games once we get to the big knockout tournament at the end of the season. And then, of course, on the other side, the Rowdies off to a solid start. Robbie Nielsen's been happy with the way his team has played so far. 3 games played, unbeaten so far, a win and 2 draws. The big win over Rhode Island was promising, but in a place where they just never quite seem to get a result. They have been up against it in these first 45 minutes. And a bit of a halftime blackout, if you will, for the Pittsburgh fans to get themselves revved up for the second half as you look again at the Great Steel Army, one of the best supporters sections in the entire USL Championship. Off we go in the second half. Here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. Sean St. Jacques, Sebastian Elney here with you. Thrilled to have you with us. The first of 2 on Golazo tonight. We'll go to Oakland and Monterey Bay shortly after this one concludes. So far, so good for Pittsburgh. Everything but the goal has gone their way. The Rowdies, rare moments for them in the attack. They haven't taken advantage of them yet. Pittsburgh looking to pick up where they left off. Here's Etu. Can't quite touch it. Past Eddie Njoma on that far side. Here's Cal Jennings. We barely talked about him in the first half. Pittsburgh's done a nice job with him. Hasn't had many touches, period, let alone advancing touches into the final third.
He's been very quiet, but you know, all it takes is one moment, one half chance for a goal scorer to get on the end of one.
Colorado Springs and Sac Republic also just kicked off as well. It's a really good slate of USL Championship games tonight. We encourage you to maybe flip around a little bit if you get the chance after our games are concluded. Here's Lasso. Curling the ball up ahead, looking for Artiago. Got his head onto it. Couldn't do much else with it after that. Team of the Week member Jordan Doherty shepherds it out. It's going to be a throw-in for the Rowdies. Of course, the other part of the equation is Pittsburgh coming off one of their bye weeks last time out. It's been 14 days since that loss against Louisville. So they have looked fresh, as you'd expect. But again, can they find the sharpness, the clinical edge in the final third that has eluded them at times at the start of this campaign? Should be mentioned, the Rowdies, maybe not at the start of this season, but in general, are also solid defensively. They haven't been off to the best start in that regard at this early juncture. But they certainly can put together clean sheets with that incredibly impactful attack. At times they rode their luck, the Rowdies, in that first half, but they did enough to keep themselves in the game. Will they be rewarded for that? Here's Mertz for Pittsburgh. Ran out of space. His ball is cleared away by Lasso. Kizza. Lasso's on the scene again. Ball is kept in play by Bodley. Jennings trying to get on the end of it. Cleared away by Hogan. Just past Bob Lilly. Now, he's a man who's never satisfied. We were talking before the game, and we've had conversations with Bob Lilly after resounding wins or historic victories. He sounds no different than if they had lost those games. He's always looking for more from his team, and it's why he's one of the best coaches American soccer has ever seen. Here's Sterling. Well, Sterling fouled there. Yes, referee did blow the whistle. Free kick for Pittsburgh. Hogan bending one. It was picked off. Osumanu's header. Chance for Kizza to chase. Again, the Rowdies don't have much to work with on this near side. That spacing that we talked about earlier, that Pittsburgh really can make things feel suffocating for their opponents on this patch of ground. Rowdies have not had much time to breathe in possession, especially in their own half. Bodley up ahead. Forbes on his big night. Back for Osumanu. A rare miscue by Dick at the back. Means Blackstock has more work to do. And he doesn't quite win the throw-in, rattling with Artiaga.
It seems as if both sides are looking to find the rhythm. As we see in the first 5, it's kind of been a bit sporadic so far. A lot of back and forth, big balls over the top. Both teams playing it a bit safe.
Here comes the Rowdies. Great ball into the middle. Crisostomo was closest to it in a green and yellow shirt. Pittsburgh do enough to clear it. It's out for a throw, and is that maybe a moment where the Rowdies can start to build in confidence? Feels like the longer it stays 0-0, the bigger their chances are for Tampa Bay to maybe steal this. Blackstock upended by Manuel Artiaga.
There's good pressure there, but again, just unnecessary. You can see the attackers from Tampa still a bit frustrated. They haven't got a lot of touches or looks at goal. It's good to see them still pressing.
Bodily. A little ball roll into space, but the Pittsburgh pressure forces them back. Arteaga just about touches it ahead, but again, Biasi's right there for the Hounds. USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day right here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to uslchampionship.com to complete USL TV listings. It's always a tightly contested game. When these two get together, this one is looking like it will be no different. Talked about it earlier. Bob Lilly said this was a character check for his team. Said his team's going to be feeling the heat after the 3 losses at the start of the season. Pittsburgh's expectations are always so high. Forbes lets that run into his path and tries to catch the goalkeeper off of his line. Jordan Farr in the end didn't have to make a stop. Ambitious from Canardo Forbes. Maybe just checking in to make sure Jordan Farr's head's in the game.
I like that. It's a good idea there.
Hilton for Doherty. Doherty hounded by Kizza. Hilton sprays it out to this near side, but right into the path of Blackstock. Can only volley it back to Lasso. Bodily had a good touch, but Blackstock able to get on the end of it at the concession of a throw to the Rowdies here. Rowdies have gotten 2 goals from Jennings this season, 2 from Arteaga. The new signing Doherty, of course, last time, and then Damian Rivera, who's on the bench to start the evening for Tampa Bay, has also scored. Not quite able to create a chance from that throw. Blackstock clears. The aforementioned Doherty, though, looks to recycle. Sterling, putting pressure on Farr. Sends it upfield, but sends it out of play.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please welcome our 3 champions of our first ever 5v5 soccer tournament.
Blackstock was really influential in the first half, along with Etsu, those outside backs that Bob Lilly likes to implement. Had their way at times in the first half. Tampa Bay is just trying to stifle Pittsburgh's momentum at the start of the second half. So far, they've done that. Can the Rowdies generate more attacking moves? That one's not going to lead to anything attacking on that occasion. Ball was played behind Manjoma. Ball thrown in by Etsu from Paris, France. Signed as a free agent last season from Tampa Bay, a former Rowdy. It's his teammate Forbes tries to get it through the defense, and then a foul and a free kick, I think, is going to go against Danny Griffin and the Riverhounds.
Fans, once again, please welcome Duquesne University men's basketball stars Day Grant and Trey Clark.
There's a tip of the cap for the Duquesne University men's basketball team, local school that won their conference title and got to the NCAA tournament for the first time in quite some time. Quite a few stars out and about. We mentioned David Flavius earlier, as Canardo Forbes passes him for the all-time appearances leader with this appearance tonight in Pittsburgh Riverhounds history. Bodily. Dispossessed by Forbes. Mertz gives it away. Desart for Arteaga. Good touch by Osumanu. And Griffin comes out with it. Blackstock. Up ahead. It was flicked on by Sterling. Nobody there to help. Sterling a bit frustrated. Rowdies reset.
They're still trying to find that rhythm. So far, it seems that they lost the midfield battle so far, but we'll see how it turns. They'll turn to the leaders like Forbes to kind of put it back under control and get ahead in the game.
eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Approach the hour mark here at Highmark Stadium. First half really ebbed and flowed. It's been a bit choppy in the second half. Two teams that don't want to let this one slip away. Pittsburgh under pressure to get points on the board in this Eastern Conference race, which is going to be as tight as any year in USL Championship history. That's what many anticipate. And the Rowdies want to keep chase with their rivals Louisville and Detroit, who've been fantastic at the start of the season, and others like Charleston. It's going to be a Riverhounds corner on the far side as the Hounds look to break the deadlock here in front of the Steel Army. Pittsburgh's third corner. King Kenny stands over it. Griffin comes with a short option. It's going to be in for Mertz, who tried to swing a boot at it. Arteaga clears. Only as far as Etu. Forces Forbes back. And it's a calm, cool, and collected touch by Biasi. Settle it down for a moment. Here's Kizza. Mertz. Griffin. Griffin again. Looks for space. It's going to be Kizza. Cross! And Sterling thwarted. Back in by Blackstock. Headed high into the air. And caught by far as Osumanu had a real chance at it.
That's better from Pittsburgh. And as we approach the 60th minute, I think we just address the elephant in the room. Pittsburgh needs 3 points here. 1 point isn't going to do it, especially at home. So as the minutes go on, you'll see them get a bit more antsy and a bit more desperate to get that break open goal.
Rowdies come back the other way. And Joma. Pressure from Sterling. Guillen, 30 minutes of the 90 left here at Highmark. Rowdies have 4 losses, 3 draws, and again, just the 1 defeat in their prior trips here. Just 1 win in 8. That is just such a rare mark for a Rowdies team anywhere, really. And as we talk about that, Robbie Nielsen's giving some instructions to Joshua Perez on the near side. Might see our first change of the night incoming, as that's a giveaway here. Griffin. Good cleanup in the end by Lasso. Needed to get that right. The Rowdies reset. Another giveaway. Kizza. Looking for King Kenny, deflected. Handball appeal comes in, it's cleared away. Big chance for Forbes, but the Rowdies get enough numbers behind the ball in the nick of time.
This is a good decision here And it gets to King Forbes. Kind of want to see him open it up and put that on the right side of the goal as opposed to put his laces through it.
There's the handball appeal as Hilton did deflect off of his boot first. Maybe that's what saves him in the end there. Didn't have enough time to react. And here comes that sub for the Rowdies. Desart comes out. And Joshua Perez comes on. It's the first change that either side has made in this game tonight. In the end, the Rowdies will get a chance to really reset the play. Jordan Farr not happy about something that's ensued. Had a quick word with our center official, maybe even the assistant on the near side. Bobby Nielsen switching things up a bit, but it's an attacking sub. Rowdies maybe feel that at 0-0, it's still right there for the taking.
I like that. That's a competitive chess move there. As opposed to sitting back and holding on for the tie, they're going after it.
Would expect nothing less from Tampa Bay. They always go for it because they are capable of doing so with the talent at their disposal. That is going to be a Pittsburgh throw on this near side.
Reminder that after the game, players will be signing autographs on the pitch.
Really, this choppy second half has just added tension to the occasion. One moment can change the outcome.
Locations in Wexford and Bridgeville.
Here's Blackstock for Sterling. Griffin. Sterling! Penalty appeals from the Steel Army and some of the Riverhounds players. Referee allows play to go on. Forbes picks it back up. We might get another look at that, but live it didn't look like there was a ton in that challenge. Kizza. Hogan. Is that the spark to reignite the occasion? Here's Blackstock. Looking for Mertz. Header won by Guillen. Those two clashed a bit in a joyful manner in the first half. Hogan heads it down. Arteaga. Still Arteaga, swarmed by Griffin. Crisostomo and Hilton forced back. Guillen has to help out. He chops it into the penalty area. There's nobody there in a green shirt. Here's the penalty shout.
I don't know. I've seen those go both ways. We're starting to see that first half Pittsburgh back, where they're picking and probing right around the box, making dangerous plays.
It's one of those, 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Sterling maybe wins the ball, but maybe not enough contact from Guillen, and the referee does not point to the penalty spot. Biasi wins a throw-in for Pittsburgh on the far side. It'll be interesting to see when Bob Lilly decides to maybe go to his bench. EJ Emmanuel Johnson is available. Attacking sense, Babacar Dieng comes to mind as well. Bradley Samples impressed Bob Lilly so far as well. He's available off the bench. 25 minutes left. Game that, despite just being the fourth for each side this season, feels like it holds a lot of weight. Sterling still looking for his first big Hounds moment. Hogan. Up ahead, Mertz. Getting some help from Kizza. Forbes. Osumanu, nice turn again by Forbes. Such good instincts. First time ball from Sterling. Kizza holds it up. Osumanu. Blackstock. More probing from Pittsburgh. Hogan. Under pressure from Arteaga. And it's a poor ball up ahead to give possession back to the Rowdies.
Fans, our next game is Saturday, April 13th, as the Riverhounds take on Rhode Island for the first time.
Well, despite being under siege at times, the Rowdies are showing the defensive qualities that we haven't seen as much from them at the start of this season. And if Robbie Nielsen's side can keep a clean sheet, that'd be a real big feather in their caps.
That'd be a huge accomplishment for them, especially coming into Pittsburgh, the desperate Pittsburgh side that they are right now, and keep them shut out. But we'll see how long they can hold for.
Yeah, that's the big question right now, isn't it? Can someone find the back of the net? Sterling, lovely little flick here. It's headed back towards far. Nicely done. Under pressure by Jordan Doherty. Kizza trying to be the beneficiary of a nice piece of Sterling skill. Jennings into the path of Perez. It's cut out. Biasi did well. Hilton out wide. Monjoma dispossessed by Etu. Doherty gets it back for the Rowdies, and then Biasi bundles into him. No free kick, I don't believe so. Or is it? Maybe it's going to be brought back. As the train revs down the tracks here at Highmark, one of the great scenics among many in this part of Pittsburgh, just around the corner from the Allegheny River. They do count the amount of splashdowns that happen when a ball is kicked out of play and into the river here at Highmark. I think we had one in the Orange County game a few weeks back. Not sure there's ever been one that's hit the train while it's been moving down the tracks. Ball's helped along for Arteaga, who's just swarmed again by the Riverhounds defense. Sterling for Mertz in transition, and Mertz is manhandled by Perez. He keeps on going. Sterling as well, fouled by Guillen, who's already been booked, it must be said. Sterling's reminding the referee of that, as are multiple Riverhounds players. Looks like it's just gonna be a free kick to Pittsburgh.
Really good transition there by Pittsburgh. They get out so quickly. Guillen has no option kind of but to bring him down. They look very dangerous there. I don't know if maybe if he's on the first yellow, that's giving a yellow there.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I don't think if he was booked or hadn't been booked, I should say, he probably gets a yellow for that, but because he has been booked, referee's allowed just a free kick, nothing more. Forbes and Mertz are the brain trust over this. Just over 20 minutes left. Pittsburgh have been looking for a moment to bring new life at the start of this season, a lift-off moment. Can they find it here against the Rowdies? Mertz. Good ball in, far, does really, really well for the Rowdies and jumps highest to collect. That's brilliant goalkeeping. 2022 Goalkeeper of the Year in the USL Championship, reminding you how good he is. Pressure from Pittsburgh nearly led to a takeaway, but Arteaga wins it back for the Rowdies. Here's Perez. Can Tampa Bay land a sucker punch here? Monjoma across, cut out by Biasi. Nicely done. Biasi sends it ahead. There has been a goal in one of the other live games going on right now. Sacramento has scored at Widener Field against the Switchbacks, who also have not gotten a point yet. Only Pittsburgh and Colorado Springs are the teams remaining that have yet to claim a point at the start of this championship season. Switchbacks in trouble early on their home patch. It's 0-0 at the half between Rhode Island and Charleston. And I said earlier, when would Bob Lilly go to his bench? He's talking with Babacar Diagne as we speak. We're told Bradley Sample has joined in on that discussion with Lily and Deanne. Corner kick for Tampa Bay. Arteaga penalized for trying to get in behind, and Danny Griffin, who's undersized in that battle, wins out. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new SXM app. Sean St. Jacques, Sebastian Elney, our entire crew. Thrilled that you're joining us here. It's on the CBS Sports Golazo Network or on KDKA Plus in Pittsburgh. It's been a hard-fought battle that could still yield a climax. Can somebody grab this game by the scruff of the neck? Does look like Pittsburgh are going to prepare those two changes. Get to those in a moment. Here's Kizza on the turn for the Hounds. Atu joins in. Kizza trying to back heel, and the Rowdies win a throw. I think that will lead to the alterations. That's going to be it. The first start as a Riverhound for Keziah Sterling. And that is going to be it as well for Kenardo Forbes, who will get a nice ovation as he leaves on the night he breaks the appearances record for Pittsburgh. Bradley Sample and Babacar Dieng will come on.
Number 45, Keziah Sterling. And in his
strong shift for Forbes in his 196th appearance, Pittsburgh record. Sterling solid as well in his Highmark debut. See if Dieng and Bradley Sample can come on and be difference makers. Lily said of Sample, he's right there. He'll be one of the first off the bench in this game tonight. He's a man of his word. Bob Lilly just brought him on there. And he said he'll push into the starting 11 at some point. As Pittsburgh are pushing ahead here, Kizza, can he find the moment? His shot is blocked. Handball appeals coming in from the Hounds. Sample blocked as well, out for a corner. Well, Sample came on at the end against Louisville. He nearly had a remarkable Highmark debut.
Big moment here. Kizza goes right to goal, super aggressive. Might have been a handball there. Might have saved them. And even the second follow-up, it's a good block by Lasso. What a moment.
Again, Tampa Bay with some last-ditch defending, doing just enough. They have a corner to defend on the back end of it. Comes in towards Hogan. He got his head to it, but it's out of play.
I want to see both teams get after in the next 15. There's so much to play for here.
Well, the Rowdies are going to make a double change here. Damian Rivera, who has scored this season for Tampa Bay, he's going to come on for Cal Jennings. And Pacific, Leon Gabiri is going to come on for Aaron Guillen. Leon Gabiri, we're told earlier tonight, he's just filled with pace, can make a certain impact for the Rowdies off the bench tonight. We will see if he can change the tide. Tampa Bay, Guillen, who was on a yellow, almost picked up a second one. Rowdies don't want to take a chance. They take their captain off. So more attacking players come on for both teams. How will that change how this enthralling contest ends? Griffin fouled by Hilton, who is perplexed, to say the least. He now has the Rowdies captain's armband. Free kick for the Hounds. Just over 14 minutes plus stoppage time left. And the free kick. Hilton clears only as far as Hogan. Biasi tiptoeing the far touchline. Couldn't find Kizza. Sample. Lily said of Sample, he keeps the ball well, puts players in advantageous positions. Said he's a possession player, dangerous when he gets to pass the ball. Speaking of danger, Pittsburgh have to put out that fire with Perez and Arteaga lurking. And Eric Dick is on the scene. This game still feels like it could be a liftoff for the Riverhounds if they can win it. For the Rowdies to finally get a second win at Highmark, it would just do them the world of good. Their confidence is already pretty high. Robbie Nielsen talked to us about that earlier in the week. But a win here would really rocket fuel their start to the season as well. Atsu just getting there in front of Nihan Gabiri, his first involvement. Nihan Gabiri is from Burundi, his first year with the Riverhounds. Came over from Valor FC and a transfer he plays for the Burundi national team. He's certainly a player that can change the outcome. Here's Griffin for Pittsburgh. They continue to push, looking for their moment. Griffin, Dien on the turn, ran out of space, surrounded by Rowdies defenders.
Fans, our next home game is on Saturday, April 27th. As the Riverhounds battle Detroit.
You can see there 12 shots for the Hounds, 3 for the Rowdies. That hasn't changed since halftime. Just one shot on target, though, between the two.
So far, this half has been pretty much all Pittsburgh. They've done really well to attack and apply pressure the whole time, but we'll see if they get resulted in a reward for it.
There was that lull at the start of the half, but the Rowdies never really took advantage of that. Can they do so here? And the answer is no. Blackstock does really well. Steps in. Kizza is able to get on the end of his pass. Here's Mertz. Mertz is grabbed. Hilton certainly didn't help. It's a free kick.
Hounds fans, we'd like to thank Piata Italian Street Food for helping fuel the team. Piata Italian Street Food is an official
like this. We can get back to that in a second. There's the pull.
I think it's unnecessary there. They're in a good spot. They have 2 on them. Nothing dangerous happening at half field, but it's just unnecessary and slows the play down.
Blackstock searching ball, but he finds Jordan Farr. Riverhounds fans, please join us Saturday, April 27th. It's Throwback Night and Dollar Beer Night as the Riverhounds welcome Detroit City FC to town. Get your tickets today. Steel Army's been tremendous yet again here at Highmark, providing a great atmosphere. This really is one of the great grounds the USL Championship has. I must say, they've been a bit anxious at times tonight. They're certainly waiting for that big moment where Pittsburgh can finally break through. Just one goal they've scored this season was a consolation in the end against Louisville.
It'll be important for both sides to stay mentally tuned in these last few minutes.
Chance here for the Rowdies. Arteaga tries to poke it past Dick, who's able to get an arm on it and parried away. That's one of the best chances the Rowdies have had all night.
Just like that, it can happen. Totally against the run of play, but it can happen. A slip in just like that. It's a good save by Eric Dick.
2 goals already for the former Phoenix man. He nearly got another big save from Eric Dick, like you said. This game is just crying out for a hero to emerge. Chance here as it deflects away from Perez. Brief opportunity for Nihan Gabiri as well. He gets back onto it, pokes it ahead for Manjoma. Perez Rowdies growing in confidence here. Challenge from Mertz. It's a free kick for Tampa Bay.
Dangerous spot as well.
Mertz pleading his case. Big opportunity here for Tampa Bay.
Perez does well to get that out underneath his feet. It's just unnecessary again. He's not in a dangerous spot yet. And now we have a free kick on top of the box.
Well, we saw it earlier with our stats. 3 shots for the Rowdies, although the Arteaga one might be added to that. Can the Rowdies make the most of what is likely the best chance they've had so far tonight? They have been under siege at the other end. Can they find a late counter blow here, if you will, to the heart of Pittsburgh? 3 becomes 4 players around this. The Rowdies, Hilton, Arteaga, Perez. Bodley just behind it. It's going to be Lewis Hilton. Oh, great save by Eric Dick. Really good strike, but a better stop from the Pittsburgh goalkeeper. It's sent back into the mixer. Eric Dick is there a second time. Huge moment.
Big moment here. It's well hit. Strikes right through it, but Eric Dick's there right in the right spot.
There was 5-6 players in the Riverhounds wall. Eric Dick comes to the rescue for the Hounds there. As that ball goes out of play, Bob Lilly's going to make 2 more changes here. Aiden O'Toole is going to come on, and so is Sean Suber. Looks like Blackstock is going to come off. And Jordan Etu, sorry, Junior Etu, beg your pardon, he is also going to exit. So again, Suber and O'Toole on, Etu and Blackstock coming off for the Riverhounds. Bob Lilly has used now 4 of his 5 changes. Final 6 minutes of the 90. Can someone break the deadlock in this Eastern Conference clash? And one more game on CBS Sports Golazo Network later on tonight. We'll have it for you. Oakland Roots against Monterey Bay, an all-Cali clash out west. It still feels like there's more drama to be had here at Highmark. DN. Trying to pick somebody out. Griffin. Mertz. Griffin blocked. Sample. Wide. And Tampa Bay stands firm again.
Really good link-up play here on the top of the box. And a good shot on target, very dangerous. Pittsburgh's probing, we'll see if they get rewarded.
Bradley Sample came on against Louisville. He's an Illinois native. First-year pro out of the University of Louisville. He's actually second in appearances and third in minutes all time. The University of Louisville Cardinals. Trying to make an impact in his Highmark Stadium debut. Sample up ahead. Mertz gets there first. Sample again. Suber up ahead. After these first 3 games, the Riverhounds really need a lift. Can they get it in the dying stages of this one? Well, loose touch there. Rowdies get it back. Chrysostoma with a Pittsburgh player down. On we go, Hilton. Still Hilton. That's a bit wasteful in the end. Had options either side. Rowdies attack stifled.
Just a loose touch here. It's a touch and tackle. You never want to see that, especially with a loss of possession. Fortunate Tampa doesn't punish.
I believe it is Suber who stays down. There's the Hilton effort. A few Rowdies players around him wishing he had maybe made a different decision. Oh, I take that back. It's actually Biasi who was slow to get up. Luke Biasi, one of those versatile players for Pittsburgh, like we mentioned earlier. And like you mentioned earlier, Sebastian, Bob Lilly certainly wouldn't be satisfied with a point. He'll feel his team can still go on and win this. He said at the top of the broadcast was maybe the most notable quote that Bob Lilly gave us earlier in the week. He said, "We haven't entered the party yet in the USL Championship." A win tonight would certainly gain them entry. Especially with how hotly contested the races in the East tend to be, you don't want to be falling behind early. Griffin out of play, gives it back to the Rowdies. You can still feel that they have an opportunity to snatch a victory. It'll just be a second ever for the Rowdies at Highmark in their history. Kizza loses out to Hilton. 2 minutes plus stoppage time left. Suber up ahead. Bodily. Fouled by Sample, free kick. And Sample is booked.
So unnecessary there.
Pretty clear cut. Not sure Adam Kilpatrick really could have made much of a choice there. And Sample sees yellow. And the Rowdies look to seek out another opportunity here to maybe steal the points. Ball in by Hilton. It's headed centrally. It's a chance for Monjoma. Sample heads it away. Crisostomo, Perez. And I'm not sure either knew exactly where their passes were going. It's out for a goal kick. I think you could see maybe what Perez was trying to do there, but on the back end, the Rowdies can't really put anything together. To be fair, credit for that has to go to that man. The way the Hounds have defended tonight. Haven't quite gotten it right yet in the final third, but defensively, Pittsburgh should be very encouraged with the way they've played tonight. Can they pay it off at the other end? Dien is offside.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be an additional 3 minutes of stoppage time.
We enter 3 added minutes at the end of this one.
To make some noise!
Ooh, Eric Dick loses out here. Gets back onto it. Foul against Tampa Bay. Free kick for the Riverhounds. A heart-and-mouth moment there for Pittsburgh. Robbie Nielsen's wondering why it shouldn't be a penalty. We get another look.
Definitely scary moments here. Eric comes out, loses control of the ball. But he gets his hands back on it and he kind of swings through him. Easily a foul.
Yeah, certainly not a penalty. I'm not sure what Robbie Nielsen's gripe was about that sequence. Arteaga, though, nearly pouncing on the chance, and then Eric Dick making up for his mistake by getting back onto it and winning a free kick. Door slightly ajar there for the Rowdies, but Pittsburgh cleans it up in the nick of time. 2 minutes left for someone to make themselves a hero here at Highmark.
I see one more good chance constructed by both sides.
Sample cleans it up. Free kick for Tampa Bay. Beg your pardon, throw in for Tampa Bay. Can one of these two teams win it? Still on a knife edge here in the dying embers. Hogan clears. Sent back in. Arteaga met by Osumanu. And the pass ahead cleared away by Lasso. The needless challenge, really, from Osumanu this time. Free kick for the Rowdies, and really wasn't that well earned either. Didn't need to make the challenge. Maybe one last chance here for Tampa Bay. Final seconds here at Highmark. In by Hilton, caught by Dick. Now then, does Pittsburgh have one more late chance left in them? Griffin with time and space, sends it ahead. Mertz into the middle, and it was a chance for DN. Sample heads it on, cleared by Bodley. Final 15 seconds. Free kick for Pittsburgh on their own side of midfield. And it's surely now the last roll of the dice. Time for maybe one more chance, one more attack. We'll have to wait another moment. There's a player down for the Rowdies. Bit of cramp here. I think the referee is taking this into account. As far as stoppage time, Eddie Manjoma and a bit of discomfort. This was the chance inside the penalty area.
Such a good one-time ball there by Mertz. And again, causing chaos in the box, especially at this moment of the game.
One last Pittsburgh roll of the dice. Kizza sends it out of play. And that appears to be that here at Highmark. Full time in the Steel City. Both teams huffed and puffed. Neither could blow the other's house down. And it finishes honors even between two of the class teams in the Eastern Conference of the USL Championship. Bob Lilly will feel happy that his team finally gets a point on the board, but they leave two on the side in the end. Just 1 point for either side. The Rowdies get their fourth ever draw here in Pittsburgh, but it isn't a victory. It's their third draw of the season for Tampa Bay. Pittsburgh finally on the board, if not joining the party yet in the race in the Eastern Conference. Our player of the match is Pittsburgh goalkeeper Eric Dick. That crucial save on the Hilton free kick ends up keeping it level in the end.
Big save here, but he did well all night. You can't lose if you don't get scored on, and that'll be thanks to Mr. Eric Dick there.
Man of the match is brought to you by Modelo. Eric Dick, certainly worthy of the acclaim. And Pittsburgh, yes, they dropped the 2 points, but they do get a point on the board against one of the tougher teams in the East.
Yeah, it's a good point against a good team, but again, they'll feel a little disappointed, and they'll slowly start to feel the wall start to close in on them as they look for their first win of the season.
The Rowdies might not feel satisfied with a point, but do they feel somewhat happy going back down to Florida?
Definitely. I mean, Highmark is a tough place to walk away with even a point, so you can't be mad at the result. Obviously, as a competitor, you want 3, but at the end of the day, I think they'll take 1.
Certainly an intriguing chess match between two of the best in the Eastern Conference. In the end, however, no score is the final score on the night here in the Steel City. Honors even between Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. We'll take one more break, and we will wrap it all up for you next here at Highmark.
Have you seen the new double-sided scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery? It's $1 million multiplier madness. And it comes with a bonus game on the back for even more chances to win. It's like having a piece of cake for dessert, and then having another piece of cake. Because after all, who doesn't like more of a good thing?
Scratch it, flip it, and keep on scratching.
At AHN, good heart care starts before you're just not feeling right. Before you say, it'll go away on its own. Before it doesn't. Because before an emergency, there's time to stop heart problems with a simple preventative heart check. At AHN, we see you.
It's Sonesta of Pittsburgh Awning and Shade Sale. Up to 50% off. Up to 50% off retractable awnings for your deck or patio. Up to 50% off retractable screens for any open area. Up to 50% off window, door, or porch awnings. Select from over 150 colors. Plus, get 0% for up to 84 months. Call now and get your awning installed this spring and enjoy it for the summer. Call 1-800-292-5594 or visit sonestaofpittsburgh.com.
Sean St. Jacques, Sebastian Elney back here with you. We're wrapping things up from the Steel City. The Steel Army still loud and proud, as they always are, even at the end of a 0-0 draw. But Pittsburgh does get their first point of the season on the board. Before we leave you, we jump into the full-time match highlights between two of the best the East has to offer. And Sebastian, we begin in minute 20 with Pittsburgh on the attack.
Good organized set piece here. You can tell it's part of their game plan. And they do well to get in the box and put it in a dangerous spot. Hogan there puts the ball on target, but it's cleared off the goal line by Guillen.
This was one of the big defensive moments of the game. Guillen thwarting Pittsburgh early on. That might have been Pittsburgh's best chance of the first half, and they had a lot of them. In the 41st minute, a brief glimmer of the Rowdies in the attack through Eddie Manjoma.
Yeah, rare error here by Pittsburgh. It leads to a good shot. Unfortunately not on target, so nothing too dangerous.
That was probably the best Rowdies attack of the half. They didn't have many opportunities. And then just about on the hour, more Hounds attacks in the final third.
And we saw it all game, just good combos in and around the box. They just get unfortunate all game. That's not put one in the back of the net.
That was a chance for Keziah Sterling, couldn't quite make it work. 75th minute, Kiz on the ball here.
I love this play here. He does well just be aggressive and head right towards the center of the goal. And a lot of mayhem, but it's cleared away. And that was a big moment right at the 75th minute.
Crucial clearance by Lasso on Sample. Then Eric Dick makes the save of the match.
Yeah, he did well all game. Just let nothing in behind him. This was a big moment in the match. It's a good free kick, struck well on target.
Hilton thwarted, and then in stoppage time, one more Rowdies chance.
And do well with nothing left. They send it straight to Route 1. And a lot of mayhem again, but he does well. Eric Dick does well just to stay around and keep the ball in the back of the net.
He fumbled it, but won the free kick. And that was that in the end. Full-time match stats looked like this. 12-7 in shots for Pittsburgh. Only 3 shots on target. The Rowdies had their last few at the very end of the match. Was a draw a fitting result?
I'd say so. I think Pittsburgh will be a little disappointed here just because they needed this game. They're desperate for 3 points, and they played well all game. Tampa did well to be on the road and not concede early, not concede throughout the game.
In the end, Pittsburgh does get their first point of the season on the board. Rowdies stay unbeaten through their first 4 regular season games in the USL Championship. It's always a tight contest when these two get together. Tonight was no exception. And after a well-played chess match between these two, it ends honors even next to the river here in the Steel City on CBS Sports Golazo Network. For Sebastian Elney and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. We say so long from Pittsburgh. It finishes Pittsburgh 0, Tampa Bay 0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.